Survival of the Fittest. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Ivo once again, and welcome to my movie review in the third installment in Jurassic Park. And of course today I'm gonna talk about Jurassic Park 3, which is the third film in the franchise and is the final movie in the Jurassic Park trilogy, because Jurassic World is their own trilogy, so this is the third movie in the trilogy. And once again, I do have the Ultimate Trilogy on Blu-ray. I have the Ultimate Trilogy on Blu-ray, which I do have the slipcover, which is kind of better. Now, this is honestly my review on the third film, Jurassic Park 3. And no, this is from the third movie, Spinosaurus, which I don't mind it. I don't mind Spinosaurus from visual animatronics and effects from Stan Winston and his team. But this is from the third movie. And Jurassic Park 3, in my opinion, is actually the most underrated sequel of all time. The most underrated, with Rambo 3, Predator 2, Robocop 2, probably those films that I remember are actually the most underrated sequels. But yeah, it's definitely there with Rambo 3, Predator 2, Robocop 2. I don't know which any sequels are there. But it's definitely underrated. It's the most underrated movie in the franchise. People hate this film. They don't like it. But I'll say it's a fun popcorn action flick. It's an action film. It's a rescue mission. And I'll say it's better to me than The Lost World or even the new one, Jurassic World. I'd rather watch this movie because it's fast-paced. It's not misleading like the second was. It's not slow. It's not boring. It's fast-paced. It has tons of action. It has mercenaries. Mercenaries are eaten. It has a likable cast. And they bring back Dr. Alan Grant. Sam Neill returns. They bring Alan Brand. They bring Alan back. He's back, he's my favorite character. And I love Jurassic Park 3 to death. I love this movie. With the first one, I love Jurassic Park 3 to death. It's an awesome film. It's popcorn. It's a fun popcorn action film. And none of the cast was annoying me like the second one movie did. That's why I respect this movie more. They bring back Alan Grant. And he's definitely my favorite character. I definitely love him more than I would like Ian Malcolm. I appreciate even Alan Grant more because he's a decent character. He's a better character. He isn't a moron or a jackass. He's a decent guy, and I just love that. He's honest. He's decent. I love the guy so much. So they bring back Sam Neill. So that was awesome. That was cool. And it's only 1 hour 32 minutes long. It's not that long. It's not even a boring film. It's fast paced. It goes quickly around. It's awesome. And I'll still say underrated sequel in my opinion. Dr. Alice Sackler, paleobotanist, returns, and she has a small role. Laura Dern returns. She has a small role in this movie. She's not the star in the movie, but she's now married. She has children, but not with Alan Grant. I guess they separated, and she shows up on the end of the film. She has a small role, which that's cool. But I'm glad that Dr. Alan Grant is back. My hero is back. He's back in this movie. And this film is a rescue mission. Directed by Joe Johnston, and of course, writer was by Peter Buchman, Alexander Payne, and Jim Taylor. And Joe Johnston, he was a personal friend of Steven Spielberg, and he went and expressed his interest of directing the third movie. And Steven Spielberg said if there's gonna be a third movie, he's gonna give him a green light. And he went to direct this movie. And you know what? in my opinion, Joe Johnston's direction was awesome, was great, in my opinion. I love this movie today. It's my second favorite in the franchise. Yes, my second favorite. I put this movie above the second one because it's underrated. It grew on me. It has action. It's fast paced. But yeah, in my opinion, I love that it's not misleading. I love that it's not boring. That the pacing is fast. That we know what's about. It's a rescue mission. And I definitely appreciate the characters in this movie more than in the second one. I hated Iron Malcolm. Iron Malcolm can kiss my ass. He's a jackass. He's like high of himself, full of himself. He thinks he's the best of the best, you know. That's what I think. I hated the character. I hated Jeff Goldblum in the second movie. I hated Vince Vaughn. I hated that stupid black girl. I hated her. I hated the daughter of Ian. I hated her. And I hated that guy Peter Stormare. I hated him. I hated the characters in that movie. In this movie, I like everyone. Everyone I like. There is not even that kid is annoying. And I think some people say, oh, how he survived 8 weeks. You know, maybe he did because he's a smart kid. You know, maybe because he didn't need that much food like the grown people does. Maybe because he was intelligent and smart. You know, but he wasn't annoying. Trevor Morgan as Eric Kirby was not annoying. He was good. I like him, the guy. He wasn't annoying. He wasn't screaming or making gymnastic stuff, you know. He was actually more resourceful. He knew the island. He knew how to survive. He saved Alan Grant by using the smoke bomb, you know. And he wasn't annoying or gymnastic or was kicking Raptor, you know, like that black girl. He wasn't annoying. I'll take Eric Kirby anytime over Kelly, over that little girl. I think now I'll take any time over that little girl, Eric Kirby, because he's much better, in my opinion. He wasn't annoying. He was likable. I really love Jurassic Park 3. This movie was released 18 July, so it was over the summer again. It's actually I think it's almost 20-year anniversary. Almost 20-year anniversary. Almost. Because we're like July 3, so yeah, in 15 days it's gonna be actually 20-year anniversary since Jurassic Park 3 came out. And definitely one of my favorite movies ever. And like I said, in the open scene, young kid Eric Kirby and his friend Ben Ben Hildebrand. They are going. They're actually. They're actually parasailing on the boat near Isla Sorna, the B-side from Isla Nulbar on the Costa Rica coast. You know, the coast of the Costa Rica. They're actually parasailing. And something during the fog scene, something happened, and the crew gets eaten, and now they both cut the line because the boat is going to hit the rocks, and they actually go now parasailing with the parachute in the jungle. And since the kid disappears, in the meantime, Dr. Alan Grant is actually poor. He lives in Montana. He's actually poor. He's looking for distributors for his research because he's actually owning his money. He has a student. He has actually a student, Billy, played by Alessandro Nivola. Billy Brennan. He's actually his student, and Dr. Grant and his student Billy are actually hired by the Kirbys. They're actually both. They're actually a wealthy couple who hires Dr. Grant and his student on the tour to see the island, of Isla Nublar. Unaware because Dr. Grant needs the money, he accepts the job and he goes in the airplane with the Kirbys and his other man, and they say he has a dream sequence that Raptor is in the plane, tries to eat him, but then he actually has something, but then he finds out they're actually near Isla Sorna, the side B, from the second movie. They're actually near, and they are and Alan Grant objects the idea that they should land because it's dangerous, but he gets knocked down by one of the men. He gets knocked down by Cooper. They land anyway, but when they land there, it turns out it's actually a rescue mission because they're not rich couple. They're actually parents of the kid that got lost, that got lost in the jungle, and no one wants to help them out. So they kidnapped and tricked Alan Grant on the island because they knew he's the best, but he's not gonna go, not really, unless they offer him money. And that was they're actually fraud. That they and the best of the scenes is that they go this time in this movie. There's no Tyrannosaurus Rex, but they actually got eaten. All those all by Tyrannosaurs, they all got now eaten. On this the B side, the mercenaries, they got eaten. At first gets Cooper eaten. They try to escape with the airplane, but because Cooper gets eaten, they landed. They crashed on the island with the airplane, and now they stuck there. Nash, played by Bruce Young, he's also now as a bait, and he's been eaten by dinosaurs. He's been eaten. So now the Kirbys, Grant, Billy, and Udesky, they are stranded on this island. In the meantime, Amanda Kirby is desperately seeking and searching for his son. In the meantime, Alan Grant finds out that was actually that he was tricked, and that there wasn't any company, or that they aren't rich couple. They just tricked him. They're just cons. They just conned him. It is not gonna be any money. They were just conned. But I love when Paul says that if you need any bathroom, I can help you out. I'm gonna pay you. With those excuses. But I love when they actually stranded now on this island in the jungle. They have to survive. This movie takes no prisoners. It takes no prisoners. The survive the fittest takes no prisoners. So meantime, they try to get to the coast. To the jungle, to the coast. During the raptor scenes, they actually found, they go and they actually, Billy steals the raptor's eggs and he's carrying them, and the raptor starts chasing them, because they smell raptor's eggs. They chasing them because they want raptors back, and they chase them, and Udesky, he gets bait for Amanda, Paul, and Billy. They say it, but Udesky gets eaten by raptors. So, meantime, Alan Grant, he, like I said earlier, Alan Grant, he gets strangled alone. He's alone now. But Eric goes and throws the smoke bomb because raptors surround him. But Eric throws the smoke bomb and goes and saves Alan Grant, and he finds out Alan Grant and says, "You're Alan Grant," and he asks Alan, "Do you know me?" He says, "I read your book." Said the first book was much better. That time you liked dinosaurs. until you went to this island. And says, yeah, but that time dinosaurs didn't try to eat me. And he asked, did you read Malcolm's book? Yeah, I did, but I don't know. This guy just kind of like, he's like full of himself, like he's high of himself. It's like all chaos, everything's like chaos, whole book is like chaos, and this is that I agree with Eric and Alan Grant. This guy is full of himself, this guy is a high price, the chaos, he did nothing but just disrespect the what John Hammond tried to do. He completely did disrespect. He's like full of himself, high of himself. That's why the reasons I'm actually more fan of Dr. Alan Grant than Malcolm. Alan Grant is better to me. And also Alan Grant says we agree, so he tells them about the parents and says, Eric, they're together. And Alan says, yeah, and Eric says, that's not good. They always argue when they're together. And yeah, so that's actually, now they go to the coast and Billy says, I don't know if he's still, to the Kirby says, I don't know if he's still alive. He goes in the direction of the coast, so they go to the shore, to the coast, and they meet each other on that abandoned observatory engine that was built, from the previous movie, observatory engine, which was abandoned. And but the raptors, not actual raptors, but Spinosaurus goes and hunts them down, and they try to hide. They try to hide, and they find each other, and then in that facility, in the abandoned center facility, observatory engine, Alan Grant suspects that something's wrong because Billy acts so weird, and he finds the eggs. And I love Alan's words, you're not just better than those people that build this, that actually build this place up, and I just love that, But Billy wasn't bad. He was desperate because he thought that they can sell those eggs so he can get money for their research, because they're empty. Alan is empty. He's poor. He's empty. There's no money for his research, and Alan wants to throw them away, but decides that he's gonna use them to survive. If they find that without those eggs, they're gonna be dead anyway, so he used them. Meantime, yeah, and there's a scene in which Alan and Eric heard that song from the telephone from his dad, from Paul's telephone. That song. They both go there, and while they now try to escape, they actually go to this fence, and there's a huge fence, and the rocks and the fence. It's like a bird cage, because Alan Grant finds out this is a bird cage, and it's actually a bird cage from pteranodons, which is a bird, it's actually a dinosaur bird, pteranodons. And when Eric tries to go to cross the bridge, Pteranodons goes and captures him. But Billy uses Ben Hilbert's parasail, and he jumps off the fence, with parachute, goes and saves Eric while the little one pteranodons, tries to eat Eric, and they chasing him, and Billy goes and saves him. And I love that scene, and that's my favorite scene, in which he saves Eric, and he saves Eric, but the bird goes keep chasing Billy. He jumps in the water, and like two birds, pteranodons, shows up, and they capture Billy. And I'm happy that he survived, that he wasn't killed. You thought it looked like he's already dead, but no, he survived. So now they go on the boat. Now all of them, they actually go on the boat, and during the boat, they actually found in the shit from Spinosaurus. They found the satellite phone. They try to escape. They all try now to escape, and during the storm, they're now caught by Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus, they're actually being caught. He tries to tag them. Alan Grant calls Ellie, her little young son. He goes and he answers the phone, and he says the dinosaur man, and the kid watches the cartoons, and while Ellie and her family enjoying, my hero is fighting for survival. This boat, the Spinosaurus tries to kill them, to eat them, turns them over in the water, and I love when Paul goes on that crane, climbs the crane, makes a diversion to get this Spinosaurus away from his family, and Alan goes with that gun with signal flare, fires, and he causes a flame, a long flame, the fire of flame, and the Spinosaurus gets surrounded by flame, and he goes away, which I love that scene. He gets the fuck out of here. And Alan calls them and tells her he's on Isla Sorna, side B, and she goes and calls them the Marines. She goes and calls, it was an SOS. She calls the Marines right away, Isla Sorna, and they survive. And Amanda says, "You can't leave me, you can't be dead." And Paul shows up and says, "I'm not going anywhere." The family is safe. I just love that in the fucking film. I love that in the film. It's just saved, they're just saved. And of course, then they're actually surrounded, Alan and their friends, Alan, the Kirbys are now surrounded by raptors, and he goes and he gives the raptors the eggs to Amanda. Then he finds that whistle from the raptors, and he used the whistle, and he goes and whistle on it, and he makes like sound of the whistles. By the way, raptors are actually they're actually whistling, which is calling for emergency. They actually, when a raptor tries to eat them in that observatory, in that abandoned facility, Amanda, I think that Amanda and Alan Grant, and I think and Derek, they actually running, they actually using that door as a bars against the raptor. Raptor tries to climb up and lands on them, and they go and they smash the raptor, which is another favorite scene of mine, and they close the raptor. Then he calls the others for help, which is awesome. That scene is fantastic. It's awesome. But yeah, that time then when Alan whistles, when he uses that whistle against the raptors are hearing sounds, so they uses the eggs and let them go. And on the shore, they actually found a Marines, and that man calls them, and I think that Paul says, no, they don't make that sound, but Marines shows up and they take them, and yeah, then I actually go now finally home. It was a rescue mission, and yeah, and the movie then of course ends. But it was fantastic. The third one is a fantastic. The cast is a fantastic. I don't mind the Spinosaurus, or there's only Peter Andonus. Also, Compis are also in this movie, but they're not dangerous in this movie. They have a cameo scene, Compsognathus from the second movie, more called Compis, which they attack in packs, are in this movie. One scene, but they don't attack them, so that's awesome. That's cool. The movie was filmed in Hawaii. I think it took 5 months of the filming. The film. Filming lasted 5 months. Begin in Hawaii, August 30, 2000. 21 years ago, before moving to California. This movie is also rated PG-13. It's the third movie in the franchise, and it's definitely underrated. Underrated sequel. I don't get the hate for this film. The budget for this movie was $93 million. The first one was actually $60 million. The second one was $70 million. This cost $93 million. Opening weekend in US, Canada, $50 million. Grossed $181 million in Canada and US. Worldwide, it made $368 million. So it made less money than the second one and the first one. The first one raised $2 billion. So that's actually cool. It kind of did less money, but still, I mean, this people doesn't like this film. I love this film to death, but that's just me. I think the director Joe Johnston did a good job. I love that it's fast paced. That the movie is paced. It has action. I love when the bird, the bird. Pteranodons goes and kidnaps Eric, and they go and they are chasing Billy with parasail. They actually go and chasing him, and they go in that water. They like the Kirby's and Grant, they all jump off the bridge in the water. I love that scene, a fantastic scene. That will be definitely my favorite scene when when after 1 hour they came to the birdcage. So that's definitely my favorite scene in Jurassic Park 3. Now the characters, Sam Neill, the best of the best, his best performance, even the first one, his best performance. I love Alan Grant. I love Téa Leoni. I think she was still a wife of David Duchovny that time. She wasn't annoying. Even though she shouted, she called Eric on the island. She wasn't annoying. I like Téa Leoni. William H. Macy was awesome as Paul Kirby. He was fantastic. Trevor Morgan, not annoying kid. He was resourceful. He was smart, intelligent. Oh, people doesn't buy. Oh, he survived a week. He was intelligent. He knew how to do it. He wasn't stupid kid, and he wasn't annoying. He saved Alan Grant's life. He wasn't annoying. And like I said, all the characters in this movie are not annoying. That's the reason why I appreciate more than the second one. Alessandro Nivola's Billy Brennan, from a villain to a hero. When he stole those eggs, and when Grant found out, he thought that he's gonna do something to Grant, that he's gonna punch him, But then he decided to do something decent by helping the Kirbys out and save the kid, which he did. He redeemed himself after he stole the eggs. Because Alan Grant says, you're not better than those people that built this place, and he redeemed himself. So yes, he wasn't annoying. He was awesome as Billy Brennan. Alessandro Nivola, great performance. Trevor Morgan, great performance. I'm sorry, but the cast is better than the second one. At least they weren't annoying, and I didn't hate them. I like them all. So Mercenaries, Michael Jeter Udesky from Drop Zone is in this movie. He gets eaten. Bruce Young as Nash, and John Dill from Miami Vice is in this movie. They all get eaten. Laura Dern has a small role as Ellie Sattler, so that's cool. Botanist. The movie was more filmed on Hawaii. Jurassic Park 3, Rotten Tomatoes, it holds 49%, which I'm surprised, because the second one the second one holded 35% on to Rotten Tomatoes. This movie holds 49%, and also it has 5.9 on IMDb. So I wish this is the only Jurassic Park film that actually doesn't have a huge score. The second one has 6.6 score, and I think that now Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom has 6.2 on IMDb. This is the only one of the 5 films so far that has the lowest score ever. Also, Taylor Nichols plays Mark, Ellie's husband, which I don't know. But I don't mind the dinosaurs in this movie. I don't mind them. I don't mind them. Or that it was filmed in Hawaii. But what I appreciate is that they actually bring back. I appreciate this movie that they went and bring back Dr. Alan Grant, and I appreciate that he plays pool. I appreciate that the characters weren't annoying. The characters, they weren't annoying in this film. I was not the Spinosaurus Rex. The Spinosaurus did not bother me like the others. And I also think the effects, animatronics and visual effects are good. Yeah, they actually were all good. They were good. From Stan Winston and his team, I think they were all great. I forgot to mention the music score was this time not John Williams didn't return for the music score, but honestly it was Don Davis who did the music score. It was Don Davis who did the music score. Directed by Joe Johnston, he expressed the interest of directing this film. So his longtime friend Steven Spielberg, he gave him a green light. Steven Spielberg serves as executive producer on this movie. So yeah, he serves an executive producer in this movie. So that's awesome. In fact, he directed the previous two movies. But I think that Jurassic Park 3 is better than The Lost World because it's fast-paced. It's only 1 hour 32 minutes, and I appreciate is that that the movie isn't mislead like the second one was, or it isn't slow-paced, or it isn't like the characters are annoying or bitching or whining, just like Mark of the Trukolu Harbor, which I was really pissed off and tired of him. So that's one of the reasons why I appreciate the character developments. I appreciate character developments. I think that the kid was much better. He wasn't an annoying kid. I thought he did a good job. I thought he was resourceful. He saved Dr. Alan's life. None of the characters, even Téa Leoni, did not annoy me. The action sequences are good. It's a fun popcorn action film. It's not that big of a film. It has a big budget, but it didn't do that much in the box office. It didn't do that much by the audience because I think it was critically panned by audience and by negative reviews. Definitely, like it's the worst one. And I didn't like that movie at first too, but it grew on me. I didn't take it as much big, but I appreciate the movie isn't boring, that it's fast paced. I appreciate the third film, and I love this scene. Spinosaurus didn't bother me. My favorite scene will definitely be the bird chasing Billy, while he uses parasail and saves Eric. Peter and the bird goes and chases them, or grabs Eric and throws in his nest, throws in the nest. That's definitely my favorite scene. They're like a bridge and a fog. I love the special effects, the practical effects, the visual effects, the animatronics by Stan Winston, the team for Spinosaurus. I appreciate that this movie did a different turn. I appreciate that they did not copy the first two movies. I also appreciate the film that Spinosaurus was the main dinosaur against antagonist and replaced in Tyrannosaurus Rex. So that's another cool idea, another great idea for the film. And I love that empty facility that they find. I love that it's fun popcorn action film. It's an adventure film, and the most I appreciate that this movie has Dr. Alan Grant back. It tries to be better than the second one, and it is, in my opinion, better than Jurassic World or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Definitely better. But that's my review on Jurassic Park 3. the third sequel and the final film in the trilogy. Once again, I'll show you the back. It was really enjoy watching them. I had not watched them in over years, but it was fun watching them. I had fun watching the films, but I will actually do my own review on Jurassic World soon. But thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next review. And that's next video, that's going to be Jurassic World soon. Take care, I'm out, peace.